You must be hurting for content. You got me in here, the old man.
Eric, aka ERock. It's funny. Every time I look for your phone number, I type in ERock and it doesn't come up. And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's under Botsford.
You know the real me.
I know,
Of
but
course.
still, usually, once it's probably one of those things where it was like, oh, do you want to correct this person's thing? And then it said, sure. Um, but I'm not sure I've seen this look for you. You look very composed. You're wearing glasses. Um,
Well, I'm telling you, the eyes. I spend a lot more time. I'm going to sit down for a second. I spend a lot more time on calls now than I do in the gym, unlike I did back in the day.
well,
So
here's what I've noticed, Eric. Athletes come and go, races come and go, companies come and go. But you know who sticks around?
these idiots.
Me and you, right? One thing doesn't change. Like we're still. It's a very
Yeah.
small list of people. I put Megita in that category. Megita has found a way to stick around all these years, right? I don't like him as much as I like you, though. So last we spoke, you were with the what was the proper name? The Fit? Is it Fittest?
Fit Lab.
Fit
Fit Lab.
Lab.
Yeah.
Now you're with WZA. Now I assume you know the WZA guys probably like since they began, right? So
Yeah. I
how did
mean,
all
yeah.
this happen?
Yeah. So, really exciting stuff. So we've been over the years. So, full disclosure. So Wodapalooza was getting sold a couple of years ago. So Loud and Live was going to divest the property from their overall portfolio. And so it made a lot of sense. FitLab was growing at that time pretty exponentially. And so I introduced I've known Dylan since practically he was still in college. You know what I mean? He came from that whole South Florida community that Guido started, when he built Wodapalooza. And so, yeah, I've known Dylan for many years. And so we just got to talking and just like over the time of Loud and Live being sold or selling off Wodapalooza to the new group of investors that have it, which are a great group of guys, and all very much into the fitness scene as well. So it's really nice to kind of speak that language again. And then at the same time, like FitLab was growing and kind of like the discussion of like where these events are going to be happening. I mean, where do we see opportunities in the fitness market as you know, right? Like every 6 months there's 12 new races, there's a new gym property, there's like, I mean, Fit Insider's having a field day in terms of like, they got a new headline like every single day, right? Some massive life changing, or not life changing, but industry changing headline is coming out. And so, anyways, it was a long discussion, probably over a year of just like riffing with Dylan, and then yeah, really the expansion plan for the Gauntlet, which I can go into a little bit more about that property. The expansion plan for the Gauntlet was kind of the nail in the coffin. So we're going to be growing this property that's kind of lived within the festival weekend. And obviously, with what we did during early days of HYROX, I kind of have the playbook right in there. So yeah, so it brought me over.
Yeah, so I've had you on a few times. We've talked about how different was in the early days, and something has shifted specifically though recently. And this is how I know. Um, when it first started, again, it was like we've seen these things come and go. It's like, what is this HYROX? It's we were looking at it. I was looking at it through an OCR space. I know you had a CrossFit background, but I was like, okay, this is another thing that we're trying. And it was mostly OCR athletes. This is just kind of a different version of obstacles. And then those first 2, even 3 years, I remember always asking like, well, don't we need buy-in from the CrossFitters like for this thing to
Mm-hmm.
really grow? Which was the wrong. I'll give Michaela Norman credit. She said no. She was like, no. Like it'll be fine on its own.
Don't you remember though that first Dallas HYROX that we did, the invitational? Remember in the Hilton Anatole? Like I invited all of my old CrossFit Games friends, and they all said no. You know what I mean? They
Well,
all said no, and then
and
but
it was
it was all the our old OCR friends that basically said yes,
right.
except for
And
Faith, Eric Hinman, Grant McCartney. Remember like all those like old school guys.
it was and we used to highlight it. Like anytime a CrossFit Games athlete did it, it was like, "Oh, we got to
Yeah.
share this." So recently, somebody shared with me somebody was doing it, and I remember going, "Yeah, I don't care." Like it just didn't matter anymore, especially because if it's a doubles, it's like I don't really care. But here's the shift that happened, my friend. Specifically, was the new fall, all the new Americans, and I shit.
You there? Did I lose you?
Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
got you back. All right.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, I think that's on me. Anyway, we've watched it. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing. But here's the canary in the coal mine is I was able to post the March 12th, not even a month ago, I was able to post these new cities coming. And this little post is currently at
Yeah.
780K views because America discovered HYROX. The amount of times this thing is still being shared.
Tipping point.
What's that?
The tipping point has
Yes,
happened.
you were. I thought you were pointing at my microphone. The obviously the number alone tells you a lot, right? But the amount of when they share the story, it says, gonna do this one. Who's coming with me? Where's my crew? Like, we all were like, we've been there for 2 years, but this is America found out what the fuck is happening. And so it was already big in Europe, big in the UK. Now America is like, oh shit, it's here. And you can't go to a gym and somebody not be like, it's not what's HYROX anymore, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I get that at the gym myself. People come up to me and ask me if I've ever heard of it.
So let's specifically talk about.
Oh man, you keep freezing up.
Let's talk about the Gauntlet. Tell people that.
Your computer doesn't like me today.
Hello?
Yeah.
This fucking piece of shit. I'm so annoyed.
Jeez, Matt. What the fuck? We're in 2026, bro.
Oh my God, dude. You there?
What's the deal? Yeah.
My son's home for spring break, and I think he kicks over the internet.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, my kids, same thing. My daughter's in the other room, so yeah.
But she's not probably a spaz like my son who's like in his room and like sitting down and kicking shit. Anyway, Sorry. Tell folks what the Gauntlet is. That's where I started.
All right. So yeah. So one of the big discussion points that brought me over to Wodapalooza or the WZA Sports group is the expansion of the Gauntlet. Obviously, that on the back of the international expansion of where the festivals are going, and I do want to also talk about that as well. But the Gauntlet itself is a really exciting property. So you're seeing, as you and I have been in the game for a while, now you have brand after brand, basically like how many different ways can we cycle in sled pushes and farmer carry, and you know what I mean? It's like, okay, this brand is cool because they do snatches versus like wall balls or whatever it is. You know, it's the same shit, right? It's the same thing that everyone's kind of repackaging. So the Gauntlet's really unique and different, where I'm bringing in, and this what's exciting is that this is, and you'll see this in the program drop pretty soon, which, by the way, let me back up. So the Gauntlet is a property that's an event that's lived within the festival, Wodapalooza Festival weekend. It has been a small footprint, and it's been two things. It's been a kind of a, not a consolation, but just like, hey, you didn't qualify for the actual event. Well, here's something you can show up, sign up, and be part of the community and get some fitness in. Because as we all know, everyone wants to go to these festivals. They want to do something. They want to be fit, and especially at Wodapalooza for sure. So it's always been that. The second piece is it's always been kind of like a great focal point for the actual festival weekend. Again, something to do when you're at the festival. And so now we're pulling it back out. We're bringing it into what I think is going to be two main things. It's an on-ramp. The Gauntlet itself, the programming itself, is going to be a structured fitness event, and it's going to be, in the same type of area that we did with HYROX in the beginning. It's going to be an indoor fitness, preferably indoor fitness, though we're going to make some concessions for some outdoor spaces. Structured fitness event. Inside the programming, though, think Tough Mudder X. That's all I'm going to put there. So we still get, and this is like one of the most exciting pieces for me. I love Tough Mudder X, by the way.
It comes up every year in my memories. So it was my birthday weekend, which it just was for me again. Happy birthday to me. And it was the TMX and then the regular Tough Mudder property. And we sat with, which famous rapper did we sit with?
Flo Rida, bro. We sat on the couch with Flo Rida and rapped with him for a while.
So that comes up all the time in my memories.
Yeah.
My Facebook memories or Instagram memories or whatever. But yeah, that was like,
you and I are in a lot of the old ones for sure. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So the actual product itself is going to lend itself more towards the namesake, which is the Gauntlet powered by Wodapalooza. So as we think of the Gauntlet, you and I are in the same age group. We normally think of like, not American Gladiators, excuse me. So when you think about how we can step outside the normal bounds of what has been kind of the knockoff of HYROX in every single one of these events that you see coming up, we're going to bring in more of the Gauntlet style thing. So each one of the legs of the event is going to represent kind of a unique and different stimulus in the same way that
I'm going to pull it up right now, because I see there's a lot on the website. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's not gonna reflect the new iteration, the 3.0 version that we're working on.
Okay,
but
so
nonetheless, you can.
It says there's 3 legs. Is there not going to be 3 legs?
Yeah, there's gonna be 5 in the 3.0 version as we kind of tour this product.
So right now it says engine, center stage, which is strength focus, and then a Metcon final. What are the 5 going to be now?
So yeah, so they're going to be legs 1 through 5. So the stimulus will be a heavy load. So you're going to think about sandbag work that you have to do, some hurdles, some things like this, like things that you have to get up and over some objects. Second one's going to be anaerobic based. Second leg is going to really kind of be focused on kind of your overall anaerobic output. For those CrossFitters out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Short, fast, punchy. Third leg is going to be heavy and long. Fourth leg is going to be a monostructural piece. So we're going to keep in, some of the cardio pieces that you're going to know about from, ski, bike, row, those type of couplet or triplets that you can bring in. And then the fifth leg is going to be a mixed modality. So think you got to do a round of something, with maybe a dumbbell, and then you have to go and through a course and then come back in, do the second round, and then repeat that for 5 rounds.
Dude,
You'll
I
start.
TMX lives, baby. I
I'm
love it.
telling you, yeah, it's a really nice and very differentiated, unique it's unique programming, differentiated, and like I think the consumer who is just kind of bored of doing the same thing all the time, but still wants that amazing experience of going and having an event that like kind of speaks to you.
What's our rest period between zones or between
Yeah,
what are you
5 minute
calling them?
rest. Yeah, so
Legs.
we're gonna leverage we've already kind of worked this out. Which is we're going to leverage the timing systems that and the timing technology that's been out there, which I'm really excited to kind of bring this stuff to bear. Things that we've seen in the consumer event space for a number of years now. HYROX has obviously been at the tip of the spear. Mika timing kind of really leaning into it and then HYROX kind of taking that and moving it forward. We're going to have that same kind of move. So after each leg, there's a mandatory 5 minute rest before you move on to the next piece. So imagine yourself in a European style like train station. Your board is up here giving you a countdown. At the 0 mark, you're sprinting out to the next leg of the race. And so it becomes this what we call the terminal in the middle, where the athletes are resting in between each leg. Becomes a great place for brands to activate. We got DJ music stuff, so it's going to be a really fun communal space, surrounded by your other competitors as well as the spectators and loved ones that are coming to see you.
So, okay. All right. So let's break this down. So, and I'm sure there's a lot more to come, but let's talk. So can I bring chalk and or gloves and or weight belts? How does all that gonna figure
Yeah,
in?
so we've kind of come to this place now, especially in Athex has been going through it for a little bit as well too. Like, how much shit do you really need to bring on the floor, and how much can just live in the back? Because you don't want to have, and I think Athex has definitely broached this subject, or they've had to, which is just like you just don't want it to look like a big vagabond thing. You remember the early HYROX days before we had good bag drop, right? It was just every single seat and corner was filled with backpacks everywhere, and we just don't want to have that. So yeah, you'll be allowed one little bag on the course, and then obviously we will have chalk and things like this out on
So
the course.
Athex has kind of a big rest area. That's kind of a big
Mhm.
part of their race. So yours, will it be like station rest, station rest, station rest? So it's all like linear, or will it be more like Athex where you kind of go into this like side rest area? Like how do
No,
you
the terminal, yeah, great question. So the terminal is actually going to be a center focal point of the actual space, and we've done the CAD designs. I don't want to share them right now; it's going to be too much to kind of bring that up. But yeah, the CAD designs, you'll see the terminal sitting in the middle, and then either laterally or horizontally, depending on the event space that we're in. The actual legs of the race will kind of like spawn off that. So in a similar manner as like you would understand like how the rock zone is built, like in our area for the athletes to kind of move around from leg to leg. So in that sense, yes, there's going to be that kind of throughway, if you will. But yeah, the terminal is going to be the center point, the focal point. So again, it's about maximizing the on-site experience, just like Wodapalooza has. You know what I mean? Like, so you got good, cool brands. You got your people that are there to show up and be right up on top of you, like the old school days.
so how many of these things are coming?
So, I mean, right now I have we've got 6 events basically like in the hopper for late Q3 to next year through Q2. So yeah, I mean it's we're there. We're there. It's
When is
and
the
it's
big when is the big launch?
uh we have a bit of, as you know, right, like this is the world we live in now, right? Like you have to, I want to basically like come out in a you know in a very cohesive and very thoughtful way. I think you can't just like launch an event now and just like expect it to do great. Although you point out a very good point at the top of this call, which is just like you've got 10-day HYROX events now. It's like there is a supply issue in this country. Like there are lots of people that want to do events, and in fact, the cities that you showed me in that graphic that you put up, they're also reaching out to me now as well. Like I mean, they're open to multiple events in their geos.
Come
Like
to Atlanta, baby. Everybody come here where I live.
yeah, is Atlanta good? I
Is
mean that was
Atlanta
always.
good?
I mean, yeah, it's. I've always liked Atlanta. I think
Do
it's
you
a
like
great
rap
metro
music?
hub. What?
Do you like rap music?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't go. I'd go for more
We
fitness.
have the busiest airport in the world. The Atlanta airport is
Yeah.
2 miles, or sorry, a 2-hour flight from like 50% of the country and a 3-hour flight from 75% of the country. So Atlanta's pretty good.
No, I trust me, I'm good. It hasn't. It's interesting because I was an advocate for Atlanta, but like
We're way bigger than fucking Tampa.
but yeah, I just it's a concentration, and this is what I need to just do a little bit more research on. And pardon your viewers who are like still watching this right now. Yeah, you and I are just geeks for this stuff. Like so, and when I've done my market research and we've done these economic impact reports and we've seen where those folks are. Don't sleep on Tampa, bro.
No, I know.
It's
Listen,
an
it's a
up and
big
coming.
market, but I'm saying that like I remember when talking to Christian that very first year, and he's like, we're gonna do New Orleans and Nashville and maybe Atlanta. And I was like, how are you 100% on New Orleans and Nashville and not 100% on Atlanta, which is like a tier above it in terms of like the size of the city and the population. Anyway, I just happen to live here, so I want things
I
to come
know,
here. But
I know
I'm
you're.
super stoked that I'm getting. Listen, Nashville I can actually drive to, and Tampa's a short flight, so like I'm
Yeah,
happy more stuff is coming here. Um,
yeah.
but
And
so
you just got, yeah.
you're saying you're gonna launch Q3 of this year, and are you gonna announce all the dates at once, or are you gonna just
Yeah.
like sneak them out?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, we'll plan this out. It's going to be essential for us to make sure that we hit the ground running and we're actually executing on this series because it's going to go. Again, this is moving in this direction, and then we're also growing the festivals as well, which is going to be really exciting.
So how many
So
festivals are you gonna put on?
so it'll be 3 this year. So we have Miami, SoCal, and Mexico City, and then
Okay.
for next year, I think the what we're eyeing is either something on that side of the Pacific, that is like the Asia side of the Pacific, and then one on in Europe. That makes a lot of sense. So we're having conversations there as well. So again, Wodapalooza is growing, and it's also becoming even more agnostic to the type of fitness
Well,
that
that's what I
we.
was gonna ask. Is that in the past it has been a qualifier or not?
Yeah, each one of the events, and this is kind of the a good divergence or a good way to kind of broach this subject. So each one of the Wodapalooza festivals will now have its own unique piece, right? Like this year we did 26.3 at Wodapalooza. Super fun event. The drone shots were incredible. Unfortunately, the weather on Sunday didn't work out so well, but you had CrossFit there on site. Now that Gym Reapers is part of the new competitive landscape as our title partner, what was like the Tier Cup last year is going to change a little bit, and that's going to have its own unique piece in SoCal, right? So you'll have an elite competition that's happening there. Mexico City will have the LATAM Cup, which will be the new host for the LATAM Cup, and then so on and so forth. So each one of them is going to have their own unique vibe, if you will, and that's the purpose of it. I think when I was at FitLab, I mean, this is what I pitched to Nike years ago, which was like, we are at the point where there's nothing that's like the Coachella of fitness festivals, and Wodapalooza has the ability to do that globally. Obviously anchored in our core consumer of like the CrossFitter, but what is the CrossFitter nowadays? What is the HYROXer nowadays? I truly believe this gray area, it's meeting the consumer where they're at. You know what I mean? Like you've been in this long enough. Like you saw the rise and fall of OCR, and then everybody went into strength, and it was gritty, and it was tough, and it was CrossFit, and then it went softer and inclusive with HYROX, and it's going to swing back around. Women are going to be pushing the pendulum back to the other side with their focus on the importance of women in strength, which I'm super fan of, and then that's going to move us back in the circle, and so yeah, we're going to meet the consumer where they are.
So HYROX likes to say 50% of their customer base is women. And so I dug into it. They're 25% of solos. They're like 60% of doubles and like 75% of relays, right? So it shows
Mhm.
you that kind of like they want to do it with a friend, they want to do it with partners, right? So doubles and mixed doubles, right? So that is the piece. This is what I've said a lot of the same things on this show for 3 years now. What took so long, right? It
Mhm.
was right there, like this watchable, Instagrammable, fun fitness event that just like that not complex movements, right? Like all the functional fitness stuff that was right there. And Tough Mudder almost had it, and Spartan kind of almost had it with the stadium races, right? Because that's the piece that I didn't even see until maybe the last 2 years, like, or maybe the last year, where a grandma is at the race holding a sign, right? And that never happened. No grandmas were gonna like walk over the mud to go see their friend, see their kid, and then like, my son left 3 hours ago. When's he coming back to
Mhm.
right? Parents came, some families came, but this is a you see a lot of strollers at HYROX. You see a lot of grandparents, like a lot of signs, and you can literally watch it each and every station. So, again, Eric, as a guy who's been in fitness, like, what took us so long to figure this out? That
Yeah.
2026 is now the
So
year of everybody figuring it the fuck out.
yeah, I think 2025 was, but like, yeah, I think it. So here, this is what it is. I mean, I've literally traversed this country, and there's so many speculators out there. Believe me, I see them all the time on Instagram. The fact is, Americans just aren't as receptive to things as other cultures are. Like we are very niche focused. We're very aesthetic focused. Our fitness industry is based not at all on health and wellness. It's based on aesthetics and like what's the cool kid doing? You know what I mean? Um, and we just have to like own that, you know what I mean? I had a call this morning with a marketing agency out of the UK, you know, and they're like, oh, we take events and we blow them up. We can take an event and just make it super popular, and we grew it year over year. And you're like, yeah, because you guys all live 2 hours away from each other. Like you can live in LA and live 2 hours away from San Diego and still never want to go. Like, you know, when we
Because
have
it's
the
4 hours with traffic.
yeah, it's. I mean, that you have to understand. Like the whole of the UK will fit inside the LA proper, and so the tipping point was, and you saw this, and I've talked about this on other podcasts. Is like, you know, with HYROX, you know, we found this out. It's like two of your friends have to do it before, you know, an American will feels like, oh yeah, they told me that it was cool and I got to go. LA is the worst. LA is three friends and an influencer have to tell you that it's cool before you do it. I mean, remember how long we had struggled with the LA market. I think taking it and putting it at Anaheim did a lot for that event as well. But yeah, so we're just not as receptive. But and then New York, God bless New Yorkers. I love you guys so much. I mean, I am so excited. Like 10-day event, like God bless those events, you know, the production staff that has to work 10 days in a row or whatever that is that they're going to be doing. But man, I'm
Right.
so glad that HYROX is finally in New York City, because New Yorkers, you
No,
deserve
that first Pier 76 event was a fucking vibe, man. It was outside, the weather was gorgeous, and it was the first, I feel like a lot of influencers, Lance Armstrong was there, whatever your feelings are on him, it meant something, right?
Mhm.
And I missed it last year, and I just found out I have a new partner that I'll be going with for the second event. We can talk about it afterwards. For the
Ooh.
second week. But yeah, it's certainly good for business for me, and because I love this stuff, it's just fun and exciting, and I can't wait to share the news that you guys are having a bunch more events. Will I, the guy who's converted runner, obstacle racer, who now does go to the gym 2-3 times a week, can I sign up for your event, or am I going to need to work on a lot? Am I going to need to like learn how
No, it's
to overhead press
yeah.
more, or like what's coming? Like, what's the most complicated movement do you think? I guess, like, will I have to snatch? Will I have to clean?
No, nothing like that. I think, you know, just I think what we've done in the sandbag choices, the dumbbells and things like this. So you can imagine, you know, dumbbell deadlifts, like a dumbbell press, something like this. You know, something that's, you know, we're looking for movement standards, but we're bringing in. Have you met Omid Shams? You know, so Omid's going to be in working with us. So he founded Lumen Fitness. So we're doing some AI things that are going to be really exciting and cool that I think we're going to be bringing into it. That make judging a lot more efficacious. That's a big thing for me.
Efficacious.
Yeah, man. I think the biggest thing that we struggle with. I mean,
Efficacious. What
yeah,
are
it
you,
means like,
seven
you know,
syllable words now, Botsford?
substantive.
Efficacious.
Yeah, dude. I'm learned to have many leather bound books in my.
Is that a way to say efficient? Is that an
No,
adjective?
it just means more like you know, standardized or provable or
Okay.
you
Okay.
know.
I'm not a
Um,
smart man, so I don't
Yeah,
know
no,
these
it's
things.
okay. Just, you know, just proven or standardized, I guess is kind of like my point here. I'm just trying to make sure that we move into the next evolution of wellness and fitness and events, and make sure that, like, you know, we move away from 5, 4, 3, you know what I mean? Like, and we move into the next phase of things where, like, we're harnessing AI to help with biometrics. We're using timing mats to help cut down on staff overhead so that the end consumer has a better experience when they're on course. We're leveraging technology like Alex did and Matt did over at HYROX with the wall ball counting targets, which have been a rocky road, but dude, no one had done that before, So those type of things are going to be the standard in how we take and level up, so that Hiller doesn't blast us with every single 2 seconds with our consumer, because it doesn't do any that doesn't, I mean, it's super fun to watch that kind of content, but it's also doesn't do anything for us as a fitness culture.
I disagree. You want to take an event with 15,000 people and find, who knows how many of them that don't know how to do wall balls. It's yeah, okay, great use of our time. Great use of our
Yeah.
time, Batman. But I do want to ask you what had me actually reach out, and I, I don't know what you can I don't want you to throw anybody under the bus, but the thing that had me reach out was about Nike closing these gyms,
Oh
right?
yeah.
So that's my question to you, is because Fit Insider, Fitness Athletic News, I read all that shit, right? So, and that was a big one. Hey, Nike puts money into gyms. Year and a half later, we're done. So what failed? What did they miss?
Yeah, I think it's less about failing. It's more about just restructuring the price. What folks don't know is that there's been a massive shift within the Nike org for a while. And yes, they were it was a partnership. Those gyms were a partnership between FitLab and Nike, right? So Nike corporate and FitLab were let's join forces. Let's take this into the brick and mortar space. And yeah, are there some stumblings? Yes, for sure. Is the average gym consumer going to go to 3 different a running studio, a fitness studio, and a strength studio? Probably not. Are all 3 of those differentiated enough where somebody goes, oh, I see the value in all that? Okay. One of the cool learnings is that Nike Strength thriving, amazing. Those gyms are still they're still gonna be open and maintained, just under a different name. So that's really cool. Again, it lends itself to what I was saying about strength coming back into the mainstream and people getting stronger again after they're done with their run club phase and that whole BS. But let me finish real quick before you jump in. So that partnership basically is a result, or the dissolution or dissolving of that partnership is really on just a change of direction. It's not everyone thinks, oh, Nike failed on this or whatever. It's not. It's just they're as an organization, they're kind of moving. And FitLab too. You know what I mean? I think the acquisition of Assault, they've got things to get there, which I'm really excited to see.
I just feel if you're gonna be in the gym business, you better be flexible, right? Because we know trends change and fads change, right? So right now, Lifetime's busiest classes and rooms are those fucking what do you call them?
Pilates, the reformers.
Yes,
Yeah.
reformers, right? I walked in there and I was like, do they dissect aliens on this table? I'd never even seen it, right? Because I'm not really the target audience. And they're like, no, that shit's backed up for weeks with signups.
Yeah.
But don't open a reformer gym today, because guess what? In 2 years, it's not going to be the thing. You better have budget and space to be ready for whatever the next thing is, right?
Yeah.
Or it's one part of your business and you have another gym with Soul Cycle or rowing or whatever you want to have. But to me, that's just kind of common sense that we know fitness trends change. So whenever you see there was one in Buckhead. So Buckhead is the bougie,
I know it.
the bougie people, and there was a fucking surfing thing, and I'm like, all right, well, this thing's got 6 months tops, right? Of standing on a surfboard, and it works your core, and of course it does, but give me a fucking break. Did you hear what I'm saying, Eric?
Yeah. Oh no, trust me, man. You're entering into a realm of the world that I spend way too much time in, and that's dissecting and analyzing fitness concepts and fitness trends. And certainly to all you gym owners out there that are watching this or listening to this, get a barbell and a rack, bro. That shit ain't going away. That's a tried and true way to get your athletes stronger, to keep them mobile, to you can scale the heck out of it. There's a lot you can do with that right there. The second thing is, yes, you're exactly right. Fitness trends. I mean, think about the sweat houses of the world, right? Remember in 2025 January, it was contrast therapy was going to take over the world. You know what I mean? But by June, those places are played out. They're gone. You know what I mean? Like no one's
because the hot influencer girl has moved on to something else.
Yeah.
Anything that's led by that or the bros, right? Now, having said that, there's a place called Do Not Disturb here in Atlanta, started by an ex NFL guy, and I fucking love it. I treat it like a little spa day for me, okay? Because it's only like $75 an hour, and you
Mhm.
get the room for the hour. And I sit in the thing, and I do 10 minutes in the hot and 2 minutes in the cold. And I'll usually like bring a razor. Like I treat it, like I said, like a little spa day for myself, and I love it, right? Um,
What are
but
you shaving? Your face?
just my face. But it's like, but you know what I'm saying?
Shave
Like
your balls.
I don't shave my balls. A
Okay.
little too much information. My point is, it's like I'm I. It's like a self care day. I've
Mm.
also gone there with my wife. I love that place, right? Um, but I don't think that means he should open 7 more, right? Right?
Yeah,
Because it's doing well, and we are. But what was I going to say? The other thing. Oh man. And my wife just bought. Sorry, I just bought my wife a fucking red light mask. I don't know if it does anything. She goes, I want one. I treated her with it, and now she's really happy. So you know what I mean? You know what it's like. You
bro.
do stuff to make the wife happy. So
You want to have a fun time? I went to one of these biohacker conferences.
oh boy.
Oh my god,
Oh
bro! You want
boy.
to talk about
Are
some
they all
snake
curing
oil
cancer? Did you
salesmen?
stop at every station and they're like, this cures cancer?
Oh, dude, and they wear these like fake doctor coats and like talk about longevity. Everything is
No.
dude. It's the most wild. It's like
Please
I've
call
never
me.
been
I
to.
will spend my own money to fly with you and like just laugh our ass off. White lab coats?
Bro, these are the people that live and die. I mean, they live and die on whatever their favorite podcasters talking about, and like, it's no offense to you. Obviously, you're kind of doing your own
I
thing,
don't do that. This it's
but
not
you know
this
what I mean.
show.
Like these folks that are selling this shit, I'm just like, wow, man. Like, and none of them are doing hard work. Like that's the problem.
Okay, so there you said that you did say something. You said early on, you said it's not about what gets you fit, it's what look goods. Now, I do think that it is a byproduct. You probably will get fit accidentally, even if you get into it because you want to meet chicks or because you want to like whatever on Instagram. I do think if you're doing the work, you're going to get some fitness benefits. I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
you're
absolutely. I mean, but have you been to a HYROX class, bro? At maybe your local gym,
no.
bro. It's like let's dance party in between things. Let's jog with our friends and not like, what makes it, for all the shit that CrossFit got for all those years, dude. What made those CrossFit bodies that everybody just puts up on a pedestal now and goes, God damn, look at that, is they fucking work hard, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so not to say like, dude, I watch Rich. I'm with Rich. Rich and I train at the same gym, and Rich Ryan, that is. And so like you watch him train, holy shit, bro. That guy fucking trains hard. You know what I mean? But he is the half of a percent of people that are actually going in there. And no offense, if you're one of those 1%ers of HYROX people that are really getting after it and want to benefit your time, like go for it 100%. But I'm just telling you, like, you got to put in the freaking work. So there's that tipping point. So get your ass, sweat, throw up, go freaking
I don't think
ham,
you should throw up. I don't think you should throw up, but you should definitely work hard.
Yeah. So I'm kind of it was my rebuttal to your comment about the aesthetic side of things. Like you can go in and lift, you can do Pilates reformers, you can like get tone and it's all good, but like you're never going to be a savage,
Well, what is you're not traveling as much, right?
I'm going to FIBO next week. Yeah, we're kind of back and forth to Miami a lot now. So,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, since with Ragnar, I was like on the road a fair amount for the past couple of years doing those events.
So, and you were doing XPT as well, right?
Yeah, we have the XPT expedition in the Grand Canyon in a couple weeks. So,
Are you still doing it?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
you said
I love.
so.
Yeah, we still love doing that stuff. Outdoors.
So how are you? What is your commitment to yourself around training?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm literally like 4 days a week in yoga. I just went to yoga this morning, and then I do double days on yoga days. So I'll train in my garage, and then the other like 3 days a week. It's 3 to 4 days a week. I'm going down to Arsenal here in Arvada in Denver, and we're training same gym that Rich. Like I said, Rich is there. where you see like Eric Hinman when he's home, like he'll post some stuff there. It's a great gym. And I'll just take group class, and I do that, and I get my 1 hour a day, and I go hard as fuck, and I beat all the young kids. And, you know, as a 45-year-old dude, like still smashing all these young kids, you know, it's pretty fun. So yeah, I get my hour a day in, and hour and a half, and then I sauna every day. And
where is the Colorado Fitness Festival? You guys are all there. So many brands there. There should be a thing.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think, you know, there's little pockets of things. You know, maybe Eric and Guido will bring World's Toughest Mile here soon. I think that would be great. You know, HYROX is finally biting the bullet and going to the convention center here, which is rad. I mean, we fought that for so long.
It's going to be nuts, dude.
Yeah, the Denver community is going to eat it up.
All right, well, listen, you and I could talk for hours and hours, and I do want to ask you some stuff off the record. So, tell people what to be on the lookout for, I guess.
Yeah. So obviously, Wodapalooza SoCal is coming up. We've got a really incredible festival change that's going to be happening this year. So if you're coming for the CrossFit space, awesome, cool. The competition is still going to be there. But look out for things like the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet will be on there. The 2.0 version, the three leg version that you see there on site. But then also these really cool activations. We're talking to powerlifting. We're going to have a strongman event. You know, there's going to be music. I'm working on I don't want to actually say the band right now, but if we get him as a headliner, like you're going to want to come just to get this headliner band. So definitely changing and making this festival, again, the Coachella of fitness festivals is kind of like the move here, meeting the consumer where they are.